Hi everyone, I'm so proud to welcome you to the first ever episode of Amplify. Today we're gonna talk to someone I know from the beginning of 2020, a music producer, a synth poet, a songwriter, a meditation lover, and the most important, he's one of those people who actually inspired me to do Amplify. So without further ado, Agent Johhny Red.
Somewhere else. So,
Okay.
and I just recently, when I said, okay, I want to take a break from Instagram, I had to think through what am I going to do? What is it like? Do I want, in which way do I want to be more useful in this whole Instagram strategy and stuff? So here we go. Hi, Travis. How are
Well,
you?
I'm doing wonderful. Well, I mean, we all know that posting selfies, and here I am
Yeah,
doing this amazing thing, and I'm so happy, and I'm so great. We all know that that can actually be discouraging to other people.
absolutely.
You know, and to see that all the time, it's I don't I don't enjoy it because
Yeah,
you're not offering, you know, not you, but the person who posts the selfie 5 times a week isn't offering any value to anybody other than this is what I look like, this is what I'm doing. And so when I started my interviews, it was a very similar idea as you.
yep.
Um, where I wanted to connect people. I wanted to bring people out of the woodworks and give them a space to feel like they're a rock star. Like what they're doing is important. And yeah, so I'm very, very delighted that we can have this conversation and I can be at the other end because I've been doing about 10 or 12 interviews and I'm having
Yeah, yeah. And so the way after our interview, I also had some thoughts over, and you kind of amplified me. You kind of planted this idea in my head to create something, to create also a platform for people, for artists, for other talented people that I know that will surround me. And I decided, okay, why not? Why not to make a 2021 more interesting year that we had than we had 2020? So you are connected from Maine, right?
yes, I am in Maine, Portland, Maine, and New England, up here in the north of the USA. Yes.
Yeah. And did you grow up there in Maine? Were you born there? Can you tell me
I've
a bit about your childhood,
yeah,
please?
yes, I've been here my whole life. I have left a couple times, but always came back because that's where family is, and I've always been always kept family close, as close as I could. So I'm a third or fourth generation um business owner. I don't own the business, but I'm working for my dad, and he worked for his dad, and
What kind of a business is that?
we're in furniture and mattresses. So we sell um you know, low price to higher price furniture and mattresses, and I do all the merchandising. So I pick out the furniture and the rugs and the, you know, all that stuff, and the advertising. So yeah, so I do all that. That's what keeps me afloat here.
Just to, to move out from the topic, do you deliver to Europe in case, somebody who needs? Because I just bought a new bed 2 weeks ago. It's a big bed with a big mattress. So why not? Do you deliver to Europe or no, not really? Yeah.
No, we
But
just
so,
keep it local. We keep it
yeah, yeah.
small and
But that's
local right
good.
now.
That's good also. We also encourage all the people to go for local furnitures and not to go to, the huge brands that you have a huge warehouse and you can find anything. You go to somebody's house and you see the same kitchen that you have at home. So,
Mm, mm.
so yeah. Alrighty. So tell me please about your music. Tell me about the beginning. How did you get into music? And also I would like to discuss your track, which is called Lightning in a Black Hole, which is a pretty interesting track, and I'm going to put it here. We're going to hear a couple of seconds of it afterwards. So tell me about music. How did you get to music?
Well, it's an easy transition. So when I grew up in the furniture business, my dad had 4 to 6 stores around Maine. It was like this big thing. He had a big warehouse. You know, he built what my grandfather built. He made it bigger. And in the 90s, when everything was really booming, he really jumped up. And so that is what propelled me to do anything but be in the furniture industry. I did not want to follow in his footsteps. I did not want to do business. I wanted to do art, and that was the decision roughly when I was 15 or 16, and I just really did not want to do furniture. But when I was 15 or 16, I started playing music, and quickly thereafter started writing songs. Horrible songs, 3-chord songs. And it was about that time.
Songs.
Yeah. And it was about that time when I had broken up with one of the first girls I had really loved. So it was that story of heartbreak with the ability to put it down on music, to the fact that Nirvana was popular and grunge 3-chord songs were popular. So all that led me into, and I was a big Radiohead fan, led me into 4-track recordings. I had a keyboard that played drum loops. I would loop the drums, I would play the keys, and it was instant, like, I want to make everything, I want to do it all. And
what else do you play? You play keyboards? Do you play something else?
So I learned on the bass. That was my start, and then started singing early, very, very badly, to be honest. And I play piano, and then I'm really 4 to 5 years ago, I really started learning my chords, and I can improvise my way through, in my own compositions pretty well, in my opinion. And so I feel comfortable with the keyboard. So I play bass, guitar, keyboard, and then all the synthesizers, drum machines, and all that stuff.
Moving to, from what do you play to songs? Tell me about Lightning in a Black Hole.
Okay, great. It's been a mix. So sometimes I'll go to a computer, I'll make a drum line, bass line, kind of work from there. Lightning in a Black Hole was more, was that. I wanted to make a house type beat, a kind of dancier beat, but then give my own flavor to it, give a good bass line to it, because in my opinion, a lot of house music has not such a good bass line. And I'm a bass player, so having those roots, I try to bring out some more groovy textures, which kind of separates me from house, where house is very simple, straightforward, and I always have a hard time with those simple bass lines. I need it to groove a little bit more. So that started with kind of the groove, and then the lyrics came. And
the voice is yours, right? The voice is yours there,
yes.
Because you don't really sing on a lot of tracks of yours. So I was surprised to hear this one with your voice, and you have an amazing voice. There is a seed of I really liked it.
Thank you.
It's like in the back of your throat, you're pushing a bit. It's like you could be a pretty good rock singer. I have the feeling, like,
I was in
maybe you,
So I grew up in rock and roll. Yeah, so I grew up guitar and singing. Yeah. So that song. So I had this great idea. This was gonna be my pop song. This was gonna be the one that that kind of makes up the whole album. And because it was so catchy. And then I submitted it to some people and said, hey, what do you think about this? And this was my first big release back last year. It was going to be my first big debut release. And then they said, oh, I don't like it. Where's the hook? What's the lyrics? The lyrics aren't right. Not that they didn't like the music. It's the lyrics, it didn't have enough hook or something. So I literally changed the whole lyrics, rewrote them, did everything. And that is where Lightning in a Black Hole came, that image. I wanted to be something huge. And how much bigger do you get than a black hole? And then to add light to something that's black.
That's a
It,
wonderful idea, really. So there is a big backstory of what we hear today on Spotify, and that's also the reason why I wanted to make this show, because every creation of an independent artist has so much backstory. It's not just something you sit down, you wrote. I mean, and then it's success or something. There is so much backstory that the backstory is sometimes even more interesting than what we really hear. So it's amazing. Tell me about your plans for 2021. What's next?
so yeah, my album was released in September, early September, completely released on Spotify. Then about 12 to 13 people, 14 people did remixes of that album. And
Okay.
I've been releasing them all summer into this fall. And I also did a remix of my own song, and those all just got released on October 30th. So two big, huge Spotify releases, way too much music. I am humbled by the NetVio members who did those remixes, and then other people who just knew me from Instagram said, you know, I like your stuff, I like you. Can I do a remix? And I'm like, all right, let's go. And 14 tracks later, so 14 people humbled themselves. I mean, I'm humbled by the fact that 14 people said, I want to remix your song. So then since the summer, I had another EP idea. I had 5 songs kind of already written in response to my album, and that's what I'm working on now. So 5 songs. My first release, I think I just solidified that it'll be December 11th. My first song. So my album was 5 songs vocals, 7 songs non-vocals. Okay, this EP will be all vocals and all kind of
all vocals. Okay, that's
yes.
nice. Yeah, that's nice.
And
And all your vocals.
all my yes, and I do have some background singing and some chorus singing from a
You also have background in writing. I remember after our interview. So you studied literature, or?
Yes, I studied literature. Yes, I went to English school. I went to study English literature in school to be an English teacher, kind of. And yeah, got into teaching and said, no, I can't do this. I'm not a guy who lives well under the pressures of like the education system.
But it's just another kind of a overview on how many things can be at the same time in a person. So you do your furniture business, you do music, you study teaching. I mean, it's not just, and that's what's really awesome, because in a lot of cultures you are assigned to work in one company during your whole life, and then because you have to build up some kind of a your lifetime in one company. And that's what I never understood. Why are you supposed to do only one thing during your whole life when there are so many things to do, and you can really experiment in and do whatever you want? Which leads me to a question. Would you like to learn a new skill? And if you would, what would that be?
I'm I mean, I always want to. I mean, I'm more into perfecting the skills I have. You know, practicing. For me, meditation is used. Continue to practice meditation. You know, to continue to interview people. Get myself out there. That.
Yeah.
And the one of the things I'm working on is my content. I've got some surprise videos for content to add value to people looking at.
Okay, that's nice. It's nice to hear. Yeah. And what about meditation? How long it's been that you're meditating, and do you do it every day? Was it difficult to learn? Or you still like a learner, or you already feel pretty much confident in meditation?
Well, long story short, I learned about Dr. Joe Dispenza last year when I was finishing Lightning in a Black Hole. I was working on that. He talks a lot about the powers of meditation and how we are creators and we create our own life. We create exactly what we think we are. So if we think we're unworthy, we will create more experiences that are in which we're unworthy. If we think we're awesome and energetic and abundant, and we have all this stuff, then we create experiences that are like that. It's a law of attraction type stuff. Are you familiar with that? So I kind of got into that, had some emotional experiences at the beginning early, but it took me about until quarantine that I said, so about 6 to 8 months of knowing of him, researching, listening to different people talking about meditation and changing your life and getting out of the past, moving into a vision of the future. In April, I said I found there was a meditation class taught online by Sarita at Soulhenge on YouTube, and I said I'm going to do this, and I did it every day.
Every day, wow!
For about 30 minutes, and that stretched me in to the fact that I wanted to do this every day. I had some incredible emotional experiences during the stuff in April. I got separated from my wife. There were all this stuff all happening. And I think it was all about me creating another future and not being trapped and being able to create. And so that got me into this summer of meditation, this summer of I'm meditating every day, 2 to 3 times. I'm connecting with something greater than myself, bringing it into my heart and then sharing it with people. I wanted to make a YouTube series about that, but it wasn't what happened. So then I kind of gone back and forth. Within the last 3 to 4 weeks, I'm meditating every morning for 30 to 45 minutes. I mean, granted, an hour is the goal, but sometimes the meditations are more like 45 minutes. So if my son stays over the night, then I can't meditate in the morning. I understand. Yeah. I have a 3-year-old son. I think you know, but yeah, so
on top of it, on top of everything you do, have also a 3-year-old son, of course.
Of course.
Right?
So now I'm dedicated every morning. I will meditate, and then hopefully at night I will work on what I want to manifest at night. This is what I want. So when I sleep, I'm thinking about what I have instead of what I don't have. So yes, it's the whole package. Yes.
And this is also really inspiring. How many hours do you sleep normally?
Not enough right now. 7.
And is sleep very important for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the meditation I've kind of pulled away from sleeping 8 hours and pulling more into 7. But when I'm free at night and I don't have to work during the day, I'm like, oh, I'm doing what I want. So it is important, but also a challenge to want to sleep instead of doing other things.
Yeah. And if we talk about routine, do you have a specific routine except meditation, or what is your perfect day that you really like doing?
Well, meditation is helping
me a part of it.
Is helping me get into that routine more. And my perfect day is being in the studio, is meditating, eating, being in the studio all day. That's my perfect day. But which is today. So today I have a perfect day. I get to talk about music. I get to meditate this morning, eat what I want, and I have the rest of the day to finish up on some music tasks. We have business music tasks, and then we have fun creative tasks. I'm hoping to do mostly just fun creative stuff today.
Are you like healthy eater, or how does it work with food? Yeah, you're vegan.
Yes, I'm plant-based eater. I still have leather goods and have wool goods, so I don't consider myself a vegan to not be. I'm not gonna. Vegans should say I should, donate my leather slippers, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna buy another pair of slippers. I'm just gonna use these. So, but mostly vegan and mostly not crap food vegan. So,
no burgers. I mean, no fast food, no fries. I mean, I don't know if you can eat fries. Maybe if it's something, it's plant based. So I don't know if it's healthy.
You can ask, like, if they put the fries in the same fry liter as the meat. And
Yeah.
if they don't, and I'm out, which has been, you know, going on a long time, I've been out. Yes, I'll eat some French fries. Sometimes you don't have a choice, and they're delicious. So, but you know, not a habit I get into. And the frozen vegan fake meat stuff, I'm not a fan of. I think we can do better with just
With just plants.
chickpeas, and you know, make our own veggie burgers, and we don't need to buy the stuff that they're making.
And what about inspiration? And is there something or someone who inspires you, who you feel like it amplifies you and it pushes you to create and to direct yourself into a better life?
Yeah, I mean, I talked about Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's surrounded by some wonderful people such as Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton. Bruce Lipton talks about epigenetics. Greg Braden talks about heart-focused, heart-based, living heart-based. So just some kind of people who have been talking about this for 30 or so years, but now the law of attraction's out. People can see it in their lives. But yeah, mostly I listen to a lot of Joe Dispenza stuff on repeat. He says the same thing over and over again, but it's helped me get out of the past and really work on the fact of really loving myself and and feeling like I can create the life I want. So yeah, he's my biggest, and you can find him anywhere on YouTube. And
Yeah, I'm gonna have a. Yeah, I think it's very important to learn to love yourself and to try and forgive and forget everything to everybody and to move on and look into a bright future instead of focusing on something that probably somebody did to you in the past. We are pretty often tied to something that happened in the past, and once you release that grief, once you release that anger that you have towards somebody, you just realize it's much easier to breathe, it's much easier to feel yourself, to wake up every day even. So completely get it.
Yeah, and it happens repeatedly. I mean,
uh,
with friendships or coworkers, if
yeah.
you don't tell people how you feel right off, then that will manifest itself 3 months later, and you will continually feel that same thing towards them, and then you will have an emotional belief about that person that might not be true at all.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a story
The
we
intention.
tell our
Yep. The intention of the person. Yeah. The intention is always, it can be always different, and you just didn't understand it the right way. So, and then you're going to eat yourself up, you're going to boil yourself from inside, and in the end the person didn't even mean it or something like that. So it's pretty funny how life can be sometimes. I have a special question. For instance, I have no idea how to produce my own music. So I'm a naive guy who wants to learn music production, who wants to learn to do something, who wants to learn a new skill. What would you recommend me?
Well,
Or a good PC or a good program?
I think I think initially, you need a decent computer. And then are you a Mac user or a PC user?
Well, that's funny because my PC is like 14 years old and not working anymore. So I'm just using my work PC because I also have 9 to 5. But right now, I would like to invest money in a new PC, and I was thinking about a Mac Pro.
Well, with they're easy to get expensive on those, but you don't have to go all out to make music. If you buy a Mac, you have GarageBand there, and it's ready to roll. So they have a drummer in there. They have some simple stuff you can work with, and then if you like GarageBand enough, you can spend $200 to get Logic. Or you can say, I'm going to do this no matter what, and I'm going to just buy Logic when I get the MacBook. And those programs are meant to be easier to get into at start. and start making music. Now, that being said, if you buy those, don't feel like you have to learn everything there. There are a million loops you can buy, packages of sounds you want to sound like. So let's say you just want to make some progressive house or some simple house and just have fun singing, just kind of get yourself out there. Then you buy a progressive house loop package, and then you sing over those, and it's fun. You don't have to go out and start composing. You can just have fun with it and use the loops that somebody else made, and they sound super professional. So a great idea, a great way to just get into it is using some of those loop packages, because the drums sound great. It's fun.
And what are you using?
I'm in Ableton.
Ableton.
But you're talking, $500, for that program. And a lot of people use Logic. Atlas Castle, he's a Logic guy. I think he's kind of switching more. He has Ableton, but he still does everything in Logic, because there's people who really just like Logic. And
Logic is kind of popular, because I chatted to a couple of music producers and everybody uses Logic apparently. And maybe that's something that also pushed me into Mac, because Logic, you can't have it on Windows, right?
Correct.
I don't know a lot about that stuff, so I'm considering myself just a guy who wants to learn how to make music, how to really create a song. Because what I do, I play it on the piano, and then I work with the production producers.
And lots of these loop packages you buy, they're all royalty free, so you can use all those parts. And if you come up with a hit song,
all right, okay.
There's different, you got to check the royalty, but if they say royalty free, it's all for you to use however you want. And maybe you take your song to one level with all that stuff, and then you have somebody else help you take it to the next level. So it's a good way to create. Yeah,
that person would be the co-producer, or how it's considered. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And do you also mix and master your tracks? With somebody.
I work with somebody to master. I do a good amount of mixing. But the way this masterer works, he ends up helping a little on the mixing, and but because he does everything by stems, he does stem mastering. So if I don't like the way something sounds, I can send him another track that evens it out. So. But having a masterer, you need somebody.
Definitely.
You need somebody, or you'll drive yourself crazy.
Yeah. Well,
we're already all crazy, but we'll drive ourselves
crazy. Yeah. And what about collabs in 2021? Are you planning to collab with somebody, or yeah?
Yeah, I've already have 3 collabs on my 3 collabs on my new EP.
And 2021, is there any plan? It's that new EP. Okay.
That's 2021. So I will be following the Spotify algorithms for this release. My first release December 11th. My next release January 30th. My next 4 to 6 weeks away on every release. So I can focus on getting a song out there. So basically, you release the song, you do the promotions for that, and then while you're releasing another song, you do all the promotion of the song you just released. Like the playlist pitch, the trying to get on the radio stations, blog artists, all that.
This is crazy, really. This is crazy. When it comes to promotions, it's simply crazy. Like I don't know, I just really suffer with it so much. It's so difficult. So I stick to the people who once at least accepted some of my songs through Submit Hub, and I stick to them, and I just say hi. I'm like super thankful. They're like, yeah, I like your music. Yeah. But another 100 people say that, oh no, we don't like it. The mix is not good, or like something else is not good. And then if one person says, I love it, I'm already like the happiest person existing on the planet, really. So I always stick to those people. And by the way, your songs, I will be adding them on my Spotify playlist, which is called Amplify. So I will be sharing the playlist to the listeners and watchers, and your songs will be there, and other musicians' songs will be there as well. So the aim is to really to create a bit bigger community, support each other, and make our creations more known to the public. And I was wondering, since we're gonna be wrapping up now, is there somebody who you would like to amplify, who you think should be and would be an interesting person on this show, Amplify?
I have a rising star in mind. His name is Peyton. Future Trees Music. He's just starting through this April. He's just starting to really produce content and to finish music. And I'm going to give him a shot to have this awesome opportunity to talk with you. And he's a really, I mean, he's I don't know if he's 21 or 22, but to see the potential in this kid, and he's a songwriter. You know, because there's lots of producers out there that are just producing, making stuff sounding very much like everybody else. Yeah. He is not.
So, okay, that's intriguing.
Yeah, and I think he has so much room to grow. So Future Trees Music.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna reach out to Peyton. You said, yeah?
Yes.
Peyton. I'm gonna reach out to Peyton, and we're gonna see. Maybe I will feature him on the next episode or on the next show. I don't know.
So where are you putting these on YouTube?
So that's going to be YouTube, that's going to be Instagram, and if the sound is okay and one day I master how to update it as a podcast, it's going to be also a podcast, because lots of people, they like to listen, not to watch anything. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I'm starting out, so it's something new and something I really enjoy doing for the moment. So as long as I'm not going into very professional details, like I have to sound super cool, I have to do something awesomely, the background, whatever. As long as I'm not there and I'm not thinking about I have to be like the best, then I'm enjoying it. But once it comes to the point like there is so much pressure, I just say no, whatever. And I want to do it for fun, really. And I think I'm surrounded by really creative people, and I want to know more about them, so, and want to also give the other creative people to know. Who knows, maybe somebody wants to work with you, and or maybe somebody wants to work with Peyton. So that's just to give a chance, to give a shot to people, also to myself. And I'm sure we're going to collaborate one day.
I like that so much. Yes, it's going to happen. Yeah, I'm so pleased to do this, and I think you're very right on point with it needs to be, and that's why I've done all my interviews just simple on IG. I haven't taken that to the next level, which I have thought about, the professional podcast with a microphone, and that is a headache. So yes, watch out for that. But I also just want to say, I think this is such a great idea, and all great ideas with time will be proven to be great ideas if they're consistent. And I think if you do this consistently, this is going to be just great, but you won't feel it the first year. You want to know maybe how good this will be until after that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, I'm not doing it. I'm doing it partially for myself, but
yeah.
In most of the cases, I do it for other people. 2021 is not going to be easy, so let's try and stick together. And so tell me, please, and tell to everybody, where can we find you? We can find you.
You can find me on Instagram or Spotify. Those are the best places. Just type in Agent Johhny Red. I'm opening my Twitter account, where I'm on Twitter as well. But you can find me on IG right now. I can only stick to one platform. I'm on Facebook, but not really. So Instagram is where you can find me. I've got lots of information about, if you're just starting out on music, come find me. I can help you figure out your route. If you need help with anything, I got some answers for you and more questions. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Travis. And I'm going to reach out to Peyton, and thank you for being on the show.
All right, thanks again. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Take care.
We are at the end of the first episode of Amplify with Agent Johhny Red. My next step is contact Peyton from Future Trees Music. I'll include the useful links on YouTube under the video. If you know someone who might get inspired by our interview with Agent Johhny Red, don't hesitate to share it. For all Spotify users, I created a playlist with the music of people I will be interviewing. You should keep in mind that it's not only about musicians and not only about people from the music industry. Already in the second episode, I'm gonna surprise you with the direction we are going to. Thank you so much for watching and see you in a couple of days.